Hello and welcome. Apologies because this is an out and about episode, so there's going to be lots of noise in the background. If this is your first time listening, my name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm the host of the podcast, a former lawyer turned business consultant, and what I do here every day is I solve business problems. And the problem I want us to look at today is okay. I just want us to look at the fact that there are lots of you listening to the podcast now who have a very poor understanding of what marketing is, what's the purpose of marketing, and things like that. Now, the reason why this is what we're tackling today is because I was having a conversation with a listener of the podcast who told me outright that marketing is not my problem, getting customers is. So that's not me saying it, that's the other person who was saying it. So let's just call him Chris. His name was not Chris. So I was having a conversation with Chris because I was trying to figure out exactly what's the problem that he needs help with. And he keeps saying he's good at marketing, he's good at marketing, he's good at this, he's good at this. And so at the time, okay, guy, look, so like you're good at marketing, so there's really nothing I can do for you. And then he responds by telling me, marketing is not my problem, getting customers is. So Chris told me that his problem is not marketing, that he's very good at marketing. He's very, very good at marketing. The problem that he has is that he's not good at getting customers. And let me repeat. And he's not the first person to tell me this sort of thing. Although he's the first person to tell me in this particular way, because there are some people that I meet who are like, oh, I'm a wonderful marketer, but the marketing campaign didn't bring in any leads, stuff like that. So we don't have a good understanding of what marketing is. So let's try and define what marketing is. Now, of course, I'm not going to define this I'm not going to define this in a technical sense, in a correct business textbook sense. But essentially, marketing is the business function that tells the whole world that I exist. And, this is how you can do business with me. So, according to Peter Drucker, a business exists. The core function of a business is to create a customer, and you create a customer by doing two functions. Number one is by innovation, and then number two is by marketing. So, innovation is when you improve your product or your service, or you improve the delivery of the thing. So that one is normal. But the most important one actually is marketing. Marketing is just making sure that people know that you exist, and people have some sort of access, some sort of roadmap, so that they can do business with you eventually. So I guess the point that I'm trying to stress is the whole point of marketing is that customers result at the end. I repeat, the whole point of marketing is so that customers result at the end. There is no such thing as marketing for marketing's sake. So I always try and correct people, especially social media marketers, who will say that, oh, we ran a brilliant marketing campaign, we just didn't get any leads. If you did not get any leads, any contact from the marketing campaign, then the campaign was not brilliant. You may think it was brilliant, you might like the campaign, and nobody doubts that you put in a lot of hard work. So a lot of hard work went into the campaign. But brilliant marketing campaign, in quote, which does not lead to plenty customer, is not a brilliant marketing campaign. We judge the marketing function, or we judge the sale function, or we judge the business communications functions by whether we get clients or not, and the kinds and the quality of customers that we get. So, because the background to some of the conversations between me and Chris, again, not his real name, is he's complaining that he doesn't want to do business with Yahoo boys anymore, and but for some reason, Yahoo boys keep finding him in the different ventures that he has tried to do. So this is a failure of the marketing function, because part of marketing is that you want to make sure you're talking to the right target audience to begin with. So if you don't want to be working with Yahoo boys, but Yahoo boys keep finding you, then by definition, you are not good at marketing, because you have got the targeting function wrong. The targeting function is off. If you want to work with Nigerians who are based in diaspora, but for some reason, the only people who are finding you are Nigerians based in Nnewi, in Anambra, then no matter how much work you put into that marketing campaign, the marketing campaign is off. It's not working. Something is broken. We can't say it's a brilliant marketing campaign. It's just that it brought in the wrong kind of person. We can't say that. We can't. There's no such thing as good marketing that does not lead to good customer. Please. Right? I know I didn't give you guys a very good definition of marketing, but just take it from me. There is no good marketing that does not give good customer. If you say I did good marketing, good customer didn't enter, then there's problem with the marketing, and we have to go back to the fundamentals. Now, what a lot of people mean when they say I am good at marketing, what they mean is I'm good at promotion. They mean I am good at blasting messages out on all platforms. If you want to look at it like that, then no problem. Yes, there are some people who are good at blasting messages better than others. And I won't lie. Some of you have that skill. When you get on it, you get on it. As in you put the message out there. As in the thing will get a million eyeballs. I get it. And for that we clap for you. But if a million eyeballs does not equal to one single customer, then you tried. You tried with the promotion. Like you really tried, and we'll clap for you. But we can't call that good marketing. We can't call that brilliant marketing. So yes, putting out messaging on platforms is good. Promotions is good. But promotion in the service of marketing needs to have a couple of foundations tight. One of those is targeting. So it's essential in whatever marketing that you're going to do that your targeting is right and you know who you're running after. If you don't want Yahoo boys, but you keep getting Yahoo boys, your targeting is off. If the targeting is off, we can't say you ran a good marketing campaign. We can't. We just can't, I'm afraid. If you don't believe me, go and take a job, work for a business owner, and then try it. Tell the business owner, Oga, the 2 million naira you gave me, we ran a brilliant campaign. The guy will ask you, okay, where are the customers? That's what the guy will ask you. The guy will say, okay, brilliant customer, Abi. No problem. Where are my customers? The client, where them they? So, targeting is one. We need to know who we're running after. Then, another thing that we have to be worried about when it comes to marketing, making sure that we're doing good marketing, good promotions, good whatever it is that we want to call it, is the messaging that we're putting out has to be relevant to our intended audience. So, if you're only talking in a manner that Yahoo boys, can relate to, then what do you expect? Or if you're only putting out messaging that Yahoo boys, resonate with, then like, what do you expect? We can't say you're good at marketing if targeting is off, if relevance is off. Then, of course, effective copy. Copy is just the words, the text, the picture, the everything that you put in the campaign. Everything has to be tight. Then, in marketing, we also need to worry about the CTAs. That's the call to actions, or the next step that we want people to do. Because there are some people who say they're good at marketing. Meanwhile, it just means they're good at promotion, putting out messages everywhere. So they're good at putting out messages everywhere. And they have wonderful copy, and everything looks nice, and everything is beautifully designed, and they spend a lot of work on it. But then they forget to put a call to action. A call to action just means, what do you want the people to do next after they see this brilliant piece of marketing that you put out there? They don't think about it. So there is nothing in the copy that says buy or buy now, or act today for 25% off. There's nothing that says download this file today. There's nothing that says call this number for a free consultation. There's nothing that says send an email here for a free estimate. There's nothing that says DM this number, send me an email, send me a text message. Nothing. So it doesn't matter how well designed the thing was. You designed the thing well, the thing looks brilliant, you spent 3 weeks working on this thing. If there's no call to action at the end, no CTA, of course the thing is dead. It's dead on arrival. Because people will see this thing and they'll be like, wow. But then it will only end at wow. Nobody will call you. Sorry if I'm sounding vexed. I made this mistake myself. Ran an advertising campaign. The picture was beautiful. The story was wonderful. But there was no call to action. I got thousands and thousands and thousands of, likes and reshares and everything on Instagram, but not one single customer because there was no call to action. It was a beautiful story about how a bride got proposed to. About how a groom tricked his girlfriend into planning her own proposal. It was wonderful, beautiful. But at the end of the day, no customer. So all that work and all that money, will I now say that that's good marketing? Eh? I just did promotion. The thing was everywhere. Even got picked up by one of this online, sorry, not online blog, like yeah, let's say like a wedding blog. So I tried, but at the end of the day, that was not brilliant marketing. So summary, what I'm trying to say is, you can't say marketing is not my problem. Getting customers is. If you're doing something that you call marketing, and at the end of the day, customer is not showing, then I'm afraid marketing is your problem. Now, of course, I didn't tell Chris this. And Chris, if you're listening to this episode, honestly, I didn't know how to type and tell you this kind of thing. So I said, well, that's why I just left it as, let me just make this podcast episode. If you hear it, you hear it. But my brother, in case you're listening, you suppose humble, small. Marketing actually is the problem. That's the reason why we're not seeing customer. Now, Chris, again, not his real name, he insists that marketing is not his problem. The problem is he wants to scale. Okay, I've also come across a few people who think this way. Now, please, my brothers and sisters, hear me loud and clear. Marketing is the problem because if there's no marketing, all right, there'll be no customer. If there's no customer, you cannot scale. Wait till you want scale. You don't have customer. What exactly are you trying to scale? I need somebody to explain this to me because I meet people who say these sorts of things. No more, forget that marketing thing. I want to scale. Forget that marketing. Like, you will scale on top what? I'm still waiting for somebody to explain this thing to me in a way that makes sense. Look at all these tech bros. Any small thing, then they scale, Ain't no problem. When they are scaling, don't they have customer first? It doesn't matter whether it's Facebook or Paystack or whatever. You can't be talking scale unless there is customer, unless there is user, unless there is some kind of traction. There is no scale without marketing, my brothers and sisters. I beg. None. Anyway, let me stop the rant here. If you'd love to get in touch with me just like Chris did, then you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. But we need to get our orientation correct, I beg. You can't say there's good marketing if customer did not show. And then the converse is this: if you do something that you thought was rubbish marketing, but then customer just they show anyhow, then man, regardless of what you think, that rubbish that you did actually is the good marketing. And it happens all the time. Some people put together a wonderful campaign, everything designed well, this or that. You run the thing, no customer. But then, they just put together, something that is not too polished. You just shoot the thing on the phone and, run it, and then customer show. Good marketing is not by polish, it's by customer. If customer no show, then I'm afraid marketing is the problem. And if you consider yourself good at marketing but you're not seeing results, I've told you a couple of things to look at. Your targeting, is it correct? Relevance, unko, the things you're saying, is it blending with the people that you're talking to or that you want to be talking to? Your copy, is your copy on point? Is it relevant? Then at the end of the day, did you put call to action there? Did you tell them do this thing next? Because unfortunately, you have to tell people what to do next. That's the reason why I give out my phone number at the beginning and at the end of every episode. Because unless I say it, I know it's frustrating for some of you, but unless you tell people, they're not going to take the action. Honestly, I've seen it for myself. There's a difference between when I started giving out my phone number and telling people, call me or send me a text message. There's a difference between before I started doing it and now, and the difference is clear. You want people to do something, actually tell the people to do something. You want somebody to download your stuff, say it. Download, click here to download. You want somebody to buy your thing, say it. Click here, enjoy 25% off if you buy between now and December 1st. You want them to come in for a free consultation. Then maybe from there you try and collect money from them. Say it. Click here to book a spot for free consultation, for free estimate. You want people to send you email, you don't like doing phone call. Say it. Send me an email here to take advantage of this, that. And then let me bring it to a close. So, if you don't have the 20 minutes to listen to podcast episodes every day, this is what you do. You send me a WhatsApp message, I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. On the WhatsApp group, I put PDF summaries every single day. The PDFs are maximum 5 pages long. And on the PDF, you get the summary of everything we talk about on the podcast episodes. So all the key points will be there and the things you can do next, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you all some other time, and I hope you all are having a fabulous weekend so far. So, I'll catch you on the other side of the brand new week.